Hello, everyone, and welcome to our April General Energy Forecast. So I already have all of the cards pulled because I did go live yesterday. However, Facebook did not capture it or didn't post it. So that is why I am recording it here today. So the cards that we're going to use for this week is our first one is the frequency tarot, which is kind of going to give us the frequency and the vibration that we're going to be working with. Then we're going to get our additional information from Colette Baron Reed's The Enchanted Map. So let's go ahead and let's get started on our beautiful reading for April. So our first card, our first vibration that we have is catalyst. Now, a catalyst is not good. A catalyst is not bad. Just like a trigger is not good, a trigger is not bad. It is merely an opportunity for growth. And so in our first week in April, that's what we're going to start working with. We're going to start seeing some catalysts, some triggers coming up. And again, these are for our growth. This is here to help us grow. And we have to allow them to unfold. Instead of trying to push it to make it go faster, we just have to let the situation unfold naturally, easily, effortlessly. Again, it's not necessarily about good or bad. It is simply about the allowance and saying, okay, I'm going to let this play out. I'm going to let it unfold. Now, how am I going to let it unfold? I'm going to let it unfold through the guidance of spirit, because we have this speak from our heart card. And whenever a card says speak from the heart or come from the heart, I always take that as an invitation from spirit to say, you know what? It's not about rational thinking. It's not even about feeling. What it is about allowing yourself to come into contact with the truth of who you are and allow that to speak for you and through you. So that is what this card, this energy means to me, that we have to allow our higher self, our angels, our guides, our true self, our divine self, whatever you want to call that, to speak for us and through us through this unfolding catalyst, through this unfolding trigger. And then we have the magical map shifter. And the magical map shifter is here to tell us that spirit has orchestrated all of this for us. Every situation, every person, every place, everything is all under the divine plan. And our job, again, is to allow it to unfold, knowing that it is all part of the divine plan. And the divine plan is not to make us hurt, is not to make us go through pain. That's not what the divine plan is. The divine plan is to help us to recognize the truth of who we are. That is what, and it wants us to be happy. It wants us to be free. So we need these catalysts and triggers to help to free us from our own grievances, our own judgments. Okay, so then that's going to bring us into week 2, and our vibration and frequency is, again, we're here with the labyrinth. And the labyrinth is telling us that, okay, so even though we want our higher self to speak for us and through us, we might be a little confused. We might start to think a little too much and get up in our heads and kind of be walking around aimlessly. And the reason that we are, or the reason that we are is because the selves. And what this card is really just telling us is it's saying, okay, so we're walking around confused because I am unsure of who I am going to allow to walk me through this process. You cannot hold the hands of two masters and expect to really go anywhere, because they're both going to be pulling you in different directions. And so we have to be really clear this week on, okay, what is let me get the card here. What is my intention for this week? Who do I want to guide me? Do I want spirit to be my guide, or do I want my ego to be my guide? And again, that's your choice. but we have to be very clear and deliberate with that choice and then stay focused on that choice, saying, okay, I don't want this confusion. My goal is peace. And if that's, or my goal is happiness. And again, you don't have to necessarily know what that means, but what you do have to do is to be willing to focus upon it and say, I'm not moving from this space of my goal is happiness or my goal is peace. This is where I'm setting myself. I'm not going to walk aimlessly again through a labyrinth and allow my ego, if you will, to try to lead me towards happiness. Because if we're honest, the ego leads us towards temporary happiness, temporary peace, where spirits is always expanding peace, expanding happiness. And we have to acknowledge that here with our bone collector here, that we have everything that we need in order to do that. And the reason that we have everything that we need in order to to have our intentions fulfilled and to take those guided action steps out of the labyrinth and into our true self is because we have the divine within us. We've all heard that saying, you have everything that you need within you. And what it is talking about is because you have the divine within you. The divine is there to help you, to guide you, to speak for you, to speak through you, to do for you and do through you. But we have to let go of the ego so that spirit can really take center stage. So that's why we have everything. Everything that we could ever need is already within us. We just have to be willing to allow that to come out. Okay, so then we have our third week. So as we are walking with spirit, we really start this moving forward. Now, again, it doesn't say that we're, skyrocketing forward. It just says, okay, now we're really starting to move just a little bit at a time. And it says that as we start that movement, we are going to get this stuck in the mud card. Now, this is not a bad card. All it means is to savor where you are, to savor where you've been and where you are now. It's not about pushing things. It's not about making things happen. It's about simply being where you are and taking each step slowly but surely. It's not about you trying to make it happen, force it happen. It's okay, this is where I am. I can see where I have been. I can appreciate the steps that I have been guided to take that have led me to where I am right now. Let me savor this and let me simply take whatever small step is asked of me. That's all I have to do. And as I do that, we step into the frequency of synchronicity, which is again where the universe is kind of giving you that wink and saying, you're on the right path. You're going the right way. You are following my guidance because I'm showing you these signs that are indicating that you're going in the right direction. Maybe it's seeing 444, maybe it's seeing 111, maybe it's seeing a specific animal, but we have to be aware that the universe, spirit, God, your higher power, whatever you want to call it, is always speaking to us. Always. And it's always giving us those little nods, those little hey, go this way, or hey, maybe steer away from this. And so as we begin that process of paying more attention, we get this beautiful Namaste card. And the Namaste card just simply means the light in me recognizes the light in you. And again, this is not something that is always easy. I don't really like to use the word hard or difficult. Instead, I like to use the word different. Seeing the light in others in order to see it in yourself is very different. We're not always used to that. And would we be willing to see those people who put the who kind of triggered us, or maybe the situation that triggered us, and I want to make this very, very clear. We are not condoning the behavior. What we are simply saying is, I thank the light in you. I am thanking the light in you. I am thanking the divine for putting you in my path in order to help me and maybe help the other person to illuminate the truth of who we are. Thank you. So could we be willing to do that? Which again, not always the easiest thing to do. It's very different. We maybe want to hold a resentment or hold aggravation towards them. But what if instead we blessed them and we said, thank you for that service. So then that's going to bring us to ride the wave. We're going to be riding that wave and saying, okay, I'm here to see the light. I'm riding this wave of synchronicity. And if we lose sight of the synchronicity, it's not that, oh my God, that's it, I've done something wrong and the universe doesn't love me anymore and it's not going to support me. Not at all. It's just an ebb because, again, the universe is saying, all right, you've gone where you needed to go for right now. Let's take a little bit of a break, take a breather, and so then we can have, some movement again, so we can have some movement forward. Now, the thing we have to be very wary of is that of this rescue card. There is no one that is going to be there to rescue you. And what I mean by that is it's not that spirit isn't there to support you 100% of the time, always and forever. It is. But this is not to look to others to rescue you from a situation. This is about you acknowledging again that I have everything that I need within me in order to heal. And why? Because I have spirit walking by my side eternally. And as we come into that, as we realize that and kind of walk into the unknown, we are led by our intuition into wisdom that we would, and all wisdom is crystallized experience. This is going to allow us to really come together in awareness and seeing who's supporting us, who is there to support us, who's there helping us to grow, because we're seeing it not from the ego's standpoint of you hurt me, you triggered me, this is all your fault. Instead, we're seeing it from that awareness of, I thank you for playing the part that I ascribed you. Thank you for playing that. And again, when I say that, that's where people get a little bit confused. I wouldn't ascribe someone to be mean to me. And again, when I say that, it's like what William Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage and all the people on it are players. Well, guess what? You are the director and you are the screenwriter. You have hired everyone and you have given everyone the script, and they are merely reading off the script that you have given them. And again, you gave them that script in order to help you to unveil the truth of who you are, to let go of judgments, or to reveal to you something that needed to be revealed in a particular way. So again, can we have that namaste type of attitude of the light in me recognizes the light in you? I'm going to be willing to, again, I'm not condoning, excuse me, I'm not condoning your behavior. However, I am saying that I recognize the light that is within you, the light that is beyond your behavior. And if I can recognize that in you, then I must be able to recognize it in me. And again, this is some cleaning of our own house. And this could be physical, mental, emotional. We are getting some stuff cleared out, and astrologically, we have I believe it is an eclipse that you'll be able to, I know I'll be able to see it in my state of Indiana. But again, there's just a lot of astrological energies that are coming together in order to facilitate our healing and our growth. And the question we have to ask ourselves is, am I ready and willing to grow to grow in divinity, to grow more into the truth of who I am? Am I prepared for that? Or am I ready to do that? And again, and to recognize that Spirit is orchestrating this so that I can learn about true peace. I can learn about true happiness, and I can learn who I truly am. So I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here, and I will speak to you all soon. And again, if you're interested in learning more about me or my services or joining my free Wix group, all that is in the description of the video. Thank you for joining me. See you soon.